Hey guys, what's going on? It is Talk False TV. We are here for the Red and Black Show. It is the third episode. We have got Jack, who's below,
Hello.
and to my left, I believe it is Sam.
Hi, how's everyone?
We're good. Hope you're all right.
Yeah, I'm fine.
For many
Yeah,
people,
good, thanks.
For many people who don't know Sam, obviously he does a lot. He does do work behind the scenes on the channel with all the transfers and all that. If we do miss something or if he does see something, he does tell us. He does do a lot of work. Brian, so it has been a bit of a funny week with Forest. Obviously, all the talk with the new CEO coming in, and with Daniel Taylor coming out today and saying that his contract runs out on the 30th, and Forest won't need to pay any compensation. So, what do you two think to it?
I think obviously not having to pay anything is even more of a bonus. I think it's a good thing that we're doing anyway, getting somebody in from a club who look like they've got themselves sorted out a little bit. You know, they had a positive season last year, bringing in some decent unknown players, and you know, to be able to get someone in who was part of that on a free makes it even better, in my opinion.
And what do you think, Sam?
I agree with Jack. Really, it's seems like they're finally amending the mistakes that they seem to have recognised that they've made. So I think you have to give the owner a lot of credit for that, because I didn't think he was the sort of bloke who would sort of admit to his mistake, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But fair play to him for admitting to his mistakes, and it seems to be doing all the right things to correct them. And it's nice to see us get somebody who knows English football, has a bit of experience with English football. So yeah, it's all positive at the minute.
I mean, you're bringing in the club secretary as well, which not a bad thing because he has worked with him. So, I mean, it must be realising that to build a good team, obviously, it's good to have people that work together.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think I read a little bit about that club secretary. I think he's been with him the whole throughout Dave Murphy's whole career, from his time in the States and all that. I think they've stuck together, so it kind of makes sense that they're both coming here as well, if that is the case.
Yeah, it sort of goes back to something we spoke about last week, where we were talking about two players coming in. I think one was on loan at Wimbledon and one was from Wimbledon that we were looking at, where you got them, they know how each other works. And with same with this, you're getting two people in who have worked with each other for, you know, a good number of years. They know sort of what each other wants. They're on the same page and know where they're going. And I think it's really important, if we're, you know, going on some sort of a rebuild, that we're getting in players or getting in people in the back room who have worked together, who know how each other functions and what they're after. I think, you know, it's a really positive sign. It looks like there's some logic behind what we're doing, rather than just picking whoever is available.
Yeah, bang on.
Yeah, I do agree with that, to be fair. And I think with London and Pidgeot, I think, but from last week.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I know that them two gone really quiet, but obviously with their contracts running up on the 30th, obviously we probably will hear a lot more then.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot's announced at that sort of time. It's been quite quiet on that sort of front, but I wouldn't be surprised if a couple of players come through the door in the next couple of days.
Yeah, I know that. I think it was George. I always forget his last name on Twitter. He's been talking about it this afternoon and saying that about signings that the club has got targets, but they were looking at getting the recruitment team in before making the moves. It was that's it, George Harvey.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, so it is sounding like that. when enough got that recruitment team in place, obviously depending on when we announce it. So hopefully that we do pick it up in terms of making transfers sooner rather than later.
Yeah. Hoping that it's kind of the case of they've got some targets acquired, but they're keeping it quiet rather than it's quiet because they don't know who we're after. Like they're still struggling to find people. You know, because it could be, if it's positive, like it could be really good. Like we're keeping it quiet, not letting any other clubs know who we want. But then if it's quiet because they're scrambling around, that's just completely the opposite to what we want. We want something a bit like they've actually got a plan and they know what they want.
Oh yeah, totally agree. I mean, do you agree with that as well, Sam?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the thing with Chris Hughton is he's a smart guy. He's not stupid when it comes to football. I think he's proved that throughout his career. He'll want to keep things on the down low, so to speak, and he won't want everything being put out in the media and all our transfer targets all out in the open and that sort of thing. And it makes complete sense to wait until we've got the recruitment team right, because until you've got that right, there's not a lot of point in you doing anything really. Because they all need to be working together. They all need to be on the same page to who we want, what sort of deals we're looking at, and all that sort of thing. So it makes complete sense to me. I don't know if you guys agree, but
Yeah, definitely. I think
having
I'm sorry, go on. There's no point doing anything until we've got the group in, we've got the team in, because if you're picking players that the old group are looking at, like it just doesn't make any sense. If we wait to get everybody in and everyone's in and everyone knows what the plan of action is, rather than say bring in half the team, tell them what they want, then bring in the other half. You want everyone there all together, knowing what the aim and the objective is for the transfer window before you start doing anything, which I think makes complete sense. Which, to say complete sense with Forest doesn't really happen very often, but you know it sounded positive.
I'm surprised you put Forest and sense in the same sentence.
Yeah, it sounds a bit weird. But hopefully it's coming good.
Yeah. I mean, as well, I was saying earlier about it. I did a video this afternoon about it, saying about, especially with the pre-season fixtures. I know that we've got a couple of games announced by other teams. I think the Untrack is playing Chiro, they're playing Lincoln City. I know that potentially the first team are playing someone in Austria as well. So it sounds like that Forest are going abroad for the pre-season, but obviously it seems quite quiet. I mean, Swarovski, who are playing in Austria.
Yeah,
I think it does. I think it does seem a bit quiet. Sorry, go on, Jack.
Yeah, quiet isn't always a bad thing, though. It can be, like I say, laying low and waiting for the right time to pounce, rather than be quiet because they don't know what they're doing. So I'd rather the club be linked to not many players than just everyone on the go, because if we're linked to everyone on the go, it shows we don't really have any strategy. If we're linked to only a couple of players, I think that's probably fill me with more confidence than it would if it was just any random guy.
What were we going to say, Sam?
I know Jack took the words right out of my mouth. Exactly what I was going to say.
Oh, sorry, mate. Sorry about that.
Absolutely no worries.
Yeah, obviously, I'm going to jump on to transfers. Obviously, we have been talking about it. Obviously, it's nice that we haven't been linked with too many players. Obviously, I know that Blackpool put 5 million on Jerry Yates. So, and me personally, I don't really think he is worth 5 million. Don't know what you guys think.
I'm. It's not something I would be looking at that sort of price for somebody he's done well in League One. Don't get me wrong, but he's not the chances he's had in a championship. He's not really proved himself. And I know he's a bit older now. He's a bit more experienced than he was. But if you're looking to pay sort of $5 million for a striker, you're looking for somebody who's done it for maybe 4 or 5 years in the Championship, and you know what you're getting, if that makes sense. So I'd much rather have that in that position than pay $5 million for somebody who might not be what you're looking for, or might not turn out to be what you think they are. So yeah, I think £5 million for me is too much. I want 2 to 3 million, sure, but £5 million, I'm not sure. I'd be looking at that one personally. I'd be moving on to somebody else.
Yeah, I'll definitely agree with that. I think, like you said, Sam, you need someone who if you're paying that sort of money, you need someone who you know you're going to get quality from. You know you're going to get goals from. If you're taking a punt on someone for $5 million, it's a big amount of money to risk. And I know Brentford paid that sort of money for Tony, but you could see the actual quality he had. You could see what he could do, and they identified him as the perfect replacement with the £30 million they had. They had that money to spare. For us, we don't really have that much money to take a risk on. So if you're going to spend £5 million on someone, look at Graben. We got him in for about that much. I think it was $6 million, and he performed. Not last season, but the season before, got 20 goals in the league. So you need someone that you know has been around in this league and they know what the challenge is, and we know they can face it, rather than just, he was good last season, we'll give it a go. I think $5 million is a little bit too much, like you were saying.
Yeah, I do agree with you both in that one. It is right as well with it. Obviously, with I know Forrest done quite a bit with quite a few of the players that came from overseas who not played in the English football, and yeah, fair enough. Some of them actually settled in straight away, but obviously you've seen that from that Coffee, you needs a season or two just to get used to the English football. And whereas you look at Sam Masao, yeah, we're decent on this day, but struggled with fitness levels of the Championship.
Sorry, just one quick point on that is that you look at somebody like Sam Massoud, as good as he was, it's what I quite like about the young lads who have gone on loan this year, is when you actually look at the amount of games they've played. So I think Brennan Johnson, he's made over 50 appearances, I think, for Lincoln. Jordan Gabriel's played nearly 40 games, and I think Tyrese Forner has as well. And I think the reason I look towards those sorts of players rather than looking overseas again is that you know that they can perform for long periods of time without getting injured, touch wood, in the EFL, and they know what it's about, and they seem to be injury free and all that sort of thing. So it's why I've been looking more towards that sort of thing than somebody who might play sort of 20 or 30 games a season like Sal or New Colbacks of this world or somebody like that.
Yeah. I mean, we touched on it last week as well about the loan players, and that they will have something to prove for us well, because they all played League One level, and obviously we all know that Brennan Johnson just missed that, but they will have that motivation for this season now to say, yeah, I want to play in the Championship.
Yeah,
I think with Johnson just missing out on the playoffs, he'll have that, he'll know what it's like to just fall short, and he'll be more motivated and more hungry to try and get over the line rather than just missing out in the playoff final. He's experienced what it's like to lose that or to fall short of expectation. Not that it was expected for Lincoln to go up, but once you get to the final, you expect yourself to win it. I think he knows what it's like to almost get there, and he'll be more driven to push us up higher up the table, given how he felt after losing that game. And also you've got Gabriel coming in as well. If he does get in the side, he knows what it's like to win. So you've got a good little bit of experience in there for both sides of the coin, really.
Yeah. I mean, the fixtures are coming out Thursday as well, so I don't know which you guys want for first game of the season.
Oh, I don't know. I love one of the newly promoted sides at home. I think. I know it's an old cliche, but I'd much rather one of them at home. I think this time around.
Yeah. What do you want, Jack?
Not Derby. I don't want to start the season with Derby, but no, I don't know. I'm not really too fussed. Like, I can see why it would be good to have a team who've just come up, but they'll be up for it. Their fans will be up for it. The players will be up for it for the first game. So that could be a bit of a banana peel. I don't know. I'd say to someone like Preston, someone who's been in the league for a while, that we're not going to get battered by a team who's just come down, or could be embarrassed by a team who's just come up. Just someone just a nice start into the season.
Mm. Yeah. And one that you can kind of get momentum from as well. Like, not saying that every game in the Championship is easy, because we all know that Championship probably the toughest league in the world, but it's nice to get that start to the season where we can build that momentum and build on and put foundations in place for the season instead of having really tough games to start with. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
I definitely agree with that.
But yeah, the excitement for the season is happening, and that. So I imagine that the Carabao Cup first round draw on Thursday, isn't it?
Yeah, it probably is. Yeah.
I'm not too sure. It's usually around the same time, isn't it? I'm not 100% sure, to be honest.
Yeah, I can't think off the top of my head, but it will be coming up soon. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but you know, the day before, on the day, or it normally comes out quite quick, but for some reason this year they're not really mentioned it about the Carabao Cup, so obviously we've got that to look forward to as well.
Yeah.
Our usual drumming in the free round in round 3 by Premier League side then.
Yeah.
And then we get Newcastle in the second round as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll probably have a scare. We'll probably have a scare against some League 2 side in the first round. Like when we got on penalties with Bury or whatever it was.
Oh Christ, I remember that.
I wouldn't mind going on a cup run, but I wouldn't mind going on a cup run. It would be quite fun. But if it takes our focus off the league, then I'd rather just get out of it straight away.
You can also end at Accrington Stanley. Your day.
Exactly.
Hey.
Yeah. See.
But yeah. I mean, I don't know if there are any things that you two like to talk about. Up it's with Forest. And I kind of putting you on the spot like that.
To be honest, I've had most of my focus. I've had most of my focus on the Euros recently, so I've not really been looking at too much Forest stuff. But I think, I don't know. Is there any more on the Marcondes deal? Have you heard anything about that? Because I know he was quite close to Barnsley, but I'm not sure whether he's actually gone through or anything.
It seems to be a bit quiet. I've not seen anything else on that. Last I saw was that he was in talks with Barnsley. And he was in talks with us, but apart from that, I've not seen anything else about
that. Most of the transfers, things that they get linked, they've done they're quiet since. I mean, the Marcondes one gone dead quiet, and then obviously the ones with Longman and they're on quiet as well. So I just think it's just a rain game. They know.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I think I'm going to ignore any transfer links until everything's sorted with the CEO and stuff. So I don't think there's too much point in looking into stuff at the moment.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if we get linked with. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we get linked with a couple of Barnsley players now. There'll be cheap clicks to get Forest fans to have a look because we've just got the CEO in.
Yeah.
I think I was saying to Dan before, like Alex Mowat would be a good player I'd take from Barnsley on a free. You know, he knows the CEO. He knows. I don't know if that's going to help in any way, but I'd definitely take him if we could.
I'll be very disappointed that he's not on the phone to him on the 1st of the month.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Or even take a punt of Woodward from Barnsley.
Yeah, if anything, just to stop him scoring against us every time we play him.
Yeah.
He always seems to do something against us.
He does, yeah.
Luke would love you if you said that to him. That part-time Luke's second favourite team, Brown Forest.
Oh God.
Oh dear.
But yeah. Thank you guys for coming on to the show today.
That's all right.
No worries. Enjoyed it.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having me.
It's okay. And hope you guys enjoy the content as per usual. And actually, thank you for watching and goodbye.